Hi there, my name's Cavan Malayter. I'm a junior studying sports journalism from Chicago, Illinois, and this is my final presentation for my PRM 485 sports events class. So by now you've probably heard of either the Little League World Series in Williamsport, Pennsylvania, or the Men's College World Series in Omaha, Nebraska, or perhaps you've heard of both by now because of their growing popularity in the sports community. But what it provides is two of baseball's greatest amateur experiences throughout the calendar year, and perhaps some of the greatest baseball experiences that aren't with the Major League Baseball postseason or the World Series that we see every October and perhaps even early November. For the Men's College World Series, it is the pinnacle of college baseball. It's what every Division I college athlete strives to get to on the baseball side of things. It's the equivalent of that Final Four that we all watch in March Madness, or the national championship game, or the college football playoff that college football has. Except this provides a 2-week haven and heaven for college baseball fans everywhere. People from around the country from all ages descend on Omaha for that 2-week period from mid to early June to watch their team, or perhaps not even watch the team, but just to experience what Omaha is all about. It's gotten the nickname the greatest show on dirt, and rightfully so. You have every player playing for their school, playing for the names on the front of their jersey rather than the names on their back. You have so many passionate alumni who come into Omaha, Nebraska just to watch their team play because it's so hard to get to the College World Series, and overall they want to experience what Omaha is all about. It's a baseball crazy city. I mean, so many amazing experiences can be had in that city. It's a baseball town. Every single game is an event in itself. Fireworks after every game, fans going crazy, the bleacher creatures out in left and right field shouting and chanting the entire game, regardless of who's winning and who's losing. It's a fun fan experience, and overall, it's one of the baseball's best if you want to experience college baseball at its best level. For the Little League World Series, it's in Williamsport, Pennsylvania, and for what it is, it's baseball at its purest, most simplistic form. It's 10, 11, 12, and 13-year-olds playing the game because they love it. They may not have a future in the game, but for the time being, all they do is just to play with their friends and play baseball and just keep growing until they get to the pinnacle, which is the World Series. At this point now, we're near 20 teams getting to play the Little League World Series every year. A couple years ago, that number was 16 because the popularity of youth baseball is growing, not just in America, but across the world. They've had to add teams to this bracket. And what the Little League World Series is so great at, it has two very unique stadiums. Lamade Stadium is the primary stadium they use for this tournament, and it's so famous because of that hill beyond the outfield wall. I mean, so many kids and even so many adults are out there with their cardboard sliding down that hill just because it's fun. That's what this environment brings. It brings a fun, family-friendly atmosphere, and not to mention, these kids are making ridiculous plays at possibly as little as age 10. So it's really exciting. But what we don't have is a high school baseball tournament. So that's what my event is proposing, to be a high school baseball national championship. We've seen the college one and its success in Omaha. The Little League version of it being the Little League World Series, that's a huge success. Those games are on ESPN every single year, and they have been for the last 3 decades or so. So this event would take place in Chicago, Illinois from mid-June, June 21st to be exact, up until July 5th with an off day for the 4th of July. So like I said, it's a first of its kind tournament for high school baseball players and teams across the country. 50 teams, one from each state, will select a state champion from either a town or a region to represent the state from itself in this tournament. It's varsity teams and rosters only, so if you don't make a varsity roster, unfortunately, you can't compete. However, you can come and support as a fan. So 50 teams, it's a lot. It's much bigger than the College World Series, which only sees 8 teams, or 20 teams at the League World Series. So how you have to divide it, we are dividing it with 10 pools of 5 teams. Each team's going to play 4 pool play games, and the team with the best record in each of the 10 pools will get into the bracket play and be seeded, and their seeding will be determined based on their run differential through their first 4 games. For the 40 teams that don't qualify for bracket play, fortunately, your season comes to an end. You have to go home. Like we mentioned, first of its kind, we said already, there's no tournament to determine a high school baseball national champion. So if you've seen high schools say that their baseball program is one of the best in the country, or they've won a national championship, technically it's not accurate. Some teams elect to claim themselves. national champions based on a variety of factors. If they feel they're one of the best teams stats-wise in the entire country. Or there's a website, a very popular website called Max Preps, which gives out rankings throughout the course of the baseball season at the high school level, and then comes out with a end of season rankings. And some schools, for example, if they're ranked number one when those rankings come out at the end of the season, will claim themselves and title themselves the national champions of high school baseball for that year. So this would actually eliminate those self-titles and will actually bring a physical tournament and allows every team to have a shot to play for a national championship. Another reason why this is first of its kind is, sure, it's hard to create and recreate that environment that Williamsport and Omaha, Nebraska provide for its players and its fans. But what we can try to do with our event and what we strive to do is to create a professional experience both on and off the field for players and fans. For the players, off the field, we'll start with those dorm rooms, getting to stay with some of your best friends and get to focus on playing baseball, as well as meeting players and athletes from all over the country can be one of the best things about these type of tournaments and events. We want that experience of getting to know each other and getting to know your fellow competitors as well throughout the course of your time when you stay in Chicago. So that's why the dorm rooms are so important to us. Rather than having teams stay at 50 different hotels across the city of Chicago, have them in 2 locations based off what pool they are assigned to and what dorms are close to the facilities they're going to be playing at can really, really bring that environment. It can also just make it fun. Some of the best memories for so many athletes when they play in tournaments like the Little League World Series or in the College World Series is getting to meet those athletes from other schools and other teams across the entire country. Including off the field as well for these players is those chartered buses. You want that professional experience? Well, guess what? Professional athletes, they get bused around the country all the time. So if you get to pull up to your ball game, in a nice chartered bus in your uniform, you're gonna be feeling so good about yourself before you go play your high school game. On the field experience for players, it's 2 state-of-the-art facilities. These are 2 facilities that are used for high school tournaments in Chicago as well as college baseball tournaments as well. So what that means is, really nice all-turf facilities, which means the only way games would get halted or paused would be due to lightning or else very severe weather, which we hope won't happen during the course of our tournament. But also with the state-of-the-art facilities, it means, every speaker and sound system is already upgraded and already ready to go for this tournament. Scoreboards are brand new pretty much because of how new these ballparks are, as well as the video boards that are on the campus of Curtis Granderson Stadium and UIC are also all new and ready to go, which means these guys are really going to be having that professional experience. You get to look around, you get to see a video board, you get to look around, you can just hear, your walk-up music as you're going to the plate to hit right there. Once again, it just builds the energy and builds kind of that professional experience. So you can get a taste of what playing professional baseball is like at the ages of, 14 through 18. For fans, that professional experience comes through the customer service aspect, making sure the lines are as short as possible, making sure getting into the stadiums are as easy as possible so you can spend as little time waiting and more time watching baseball. These facilities, as we mentioned, on the left side, you see Kerrywood Cubs Field, which is on the campus of Lane Tech High School on Chicago's north side. One of the best high school facilities throughout the state of Illinois. Brand new all turf, which includes a turf mound as well. So players have always had fun in Chicago playing this facility, so now we need to open it up to the rest of the country. On the right is Curtis Granderson Stadium. It's the home to UIC Baseball, which is a college Division I program. It's one of the nicest baseball stadiums in the entire country, according to several different collegiate baseball publications, because of not just the facilities, but the views as well. You get a phenomenal view of the Chicago skyline. How cool is that? You get to look around as an athlete or look around as a fan, and you get to see that skyline before you're about to hit. It's something really cool and magical. Who benefits from this? Obviously, the schools who make and qualify for this tournament, perhaps wins the national championship, obviously benefits from that. Can bring a lot of success to your athletic department as well as the school as well, and sometimes might get some added funding from that too. The athletes get to benefit from this as well. With our broadcasting partners who we hope to bring in, that comes national exposure. And for these athletes who are in high school, that exposure is crucial in recruiting because it's so tough to get recruited to play high school baseball. So any advantage helps. Also, who benefits? Broadcasting partners, more content. They always say nowadays that content is king. There's a couple week dead period before the Major League Baseball All-Star Game and after the College World Series ends. That's when our tournament is, to try to fill more content, fill the palates of baseball fans everywhere. And like I said, baseball fans, anyone who's a nut for baseball loves these type of tournaments because there's no better thing than postseason baseball. The drama, the excitement when your team does well, or the gutted feeling if your team doesn't succeed in those moments. So what makes the game of baseball so great. So that is who benefits from this as well. So that's my entire presentation. Hopefully we'll see you out in Chicago for our tournament starting June of 2024. Thank you for watching.